Hi everyone, this is Titan Fox the Fifth from Hammer King, and I'm blowing it up with Capital Chaos TV.
Hey everybody, this is the Mighty Z of Capital Chaos TV. Welcome to another exciting interview. Today we have Titan Fox the Fifth from Hammer King on the phone from Germany. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you, excellent. Thanks for having us. It's been a long day. I think this is the fifth interview in a row. So it's wonderful. This is the first time ever talking to many people from all over the world. This is I think the fourth interview with the United States today. Absolutely thrilled to be here.
The exciting part, one of the many exciting things of this particular time is that Hammer King has a brand new album, comes out tomorrow. Is that right?
Right tomorrow, yeah.
It's a self-titled debut, the first self-titled album, your first for Napalm Records.
Right, yeah. I must say that Napalm Records has ever been the one and only label that we wanted to be on, and not taking away anything from our former label, which was fantastic. But I think for our certain brand of music, for this certain style in heavy metal, we always thought that Napalm would be the perfect place. And if I see how many people I can talk to now and reach and really connect with all over the world, it's absolutely the proof that Napalm is the best company for us, because they really can give us such a boost when it comes to promotion. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's so helpful, actually.
How does this record compare to your previous records?
It is certainly much more powerful. We have worked with Jakob Hansen for the first time, who probably is famous for producing Volbeat, but he also produced the last 5 albums from the Danish band Pretty Maids, which we like a lot. And Jakob was the kind of person who really could maintain the melodic approach of our music, but at the same time give it a lot of boost, a lot of energy. And I said this in a couple of interviews before. This might be my 12th or 13th album that I've made with different bands, but it's really been the first time that I was impressed by an album that I perform on, because it's so fresh, it's so powerful, that I can be a fan of the album, although I've heard the songs probably 300 times before. So that's really enjoyable.
And do you have a favorite song at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, it keeps changing all the time.
Of course.
Back and forth. But at the moment, I must say my favorite song might be Awaken the Thunder, which is also the video that we released today, the 3rd single from the album. But I like this song very much because it has a very, very aggressive riffing, a very traditional bridge, and an extremely poppy chorus, if you want. So, I mean, everybody says pop does not belong in metal, but I think if there is a certain pop approach in the chorus, it can always help. And I think this is a very, very good blend of 3 different styles in one song. We all were raised on music where the music was the most important part. But I mean, in now times and nowadays, the visual aspect has always gotten an increasing role in a way. I mean, we have costumes, outfits that we wear. They are handmade just for us, so that we have our own look, basically. We have, of course, the artwork from Peter Salai with the king with the flames in the hand, the gigantic hammers that we can use on stage. I mean, it's very important to give the audiences a very clear picture of who you are and what you really want to transport with your music, because there's a shitload of bands out there. If everyone is just standing there playing in jeans, you will probably never understand the difference. So, of course, the visuals are very, very important nowadays. And they're enjoyable.
Yeah, I think that kind of way was prevalent during the grunge era.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Infamously, Kurt Cobain with his hand-knitted sweater on an MTV Unplugged. I mean, that was strange.
The new single is Awaken the Thunder. Where did you make the video, and who did you do it with?
That was very interesting. We were trying to work with different people for the videos, just to find out who will be the one that we'll probably work with in the future. So we did the most recent video with a company called Witzki Visions by a guy called Mirko Witzki, and we I think it was a suggestion by Napalm, if I'm right. I think so. I can't remember. I contacted the guy and we phoned. It was very friendly, very, very helpful. And then we said, okay, let's do one video together. And he sent us a sketch, what he planned with the female and the male actors. And yeah, we said, okay, we want to do that. That sounds interesting. And then he said, I will look for a location. Wonderful, we don't have to do that. And then a week later, he said, I found one, it's a castle. And I said, what's the name of the castle? And he told me the name. And I said, hey, you're funny, it's only 20 minutes away from here. And he said, yeah, it's even better. And that's interesting because he does not live here at all. And he got in touch with the manager of the castle, who seems to know Hammer King and likes the music. So he opened everything for us. He gave us electrical power on the tower and everything. He worked his ass off, and he even brought us coffee at that day. It was a super friendly day. Everybody was absolutely into it and very, very helpful. So for us, it was so pleasant because we did not have to drive 4 hours to get to the set. It was only 20 minutes, and it was very relaxed. And Mirko is a person. He isn't even talking a lot, but he can always give you the feeling that you know what you do in the video. So we were very, very relaxed and open, and I really experienced this. That was the first video shooting that I was involved, I think, in 10 years that I felt comfortable with doing what I was doing. And that was really the atmosphere that Mirko created, so that was fantastic.
And did you record any cover songs or any bonus tracks for any...
No, we have bonus tracks, that's right. We have, what is on the album? I got it today for the first time. We have the Hammerschlag, the edition without the guests, only us. And then there will be, hopefully, the standalone single, maybe on a 7-inch vinyl, by Christmas or early next year, with a song that is not part of the album, or let's say almost not part of the album, because a small bit of the song is already on the album. So we'll have a link to the single which should come up. So that would be the bonus. Hopefully it works. I mean, it depends on the sales, of course, but I think it will happen.
Has there ever been any thought of recording any of the songs in German?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the problem is, of course, when you're German and you sing in English. As a German, I think I sound English, and everybody from other countries will understand that I'm not native speaker in English. That's
okay.
Of course, that's clear. But basically, I feel very comfortable singing in English. I do not feel comfortable singing in German, because in German I do have a heavy accent, because I come from an area where everybody is speaking a very strong dialect, which means that my German does not sound all too German. That's why I don't want to do that, actually. It would be very, very tough to really nail the German.
What will be your strongest memory of recording this album?
Oh, good question. One of the strongest memories will probably be that we recorded at the new studio Grey Wolf for the first time, because Charles Grey Wolf built a new place. And we liked the old place a lot. But when we started recording at the new place, we immediately felt that the recording room, sounded very much better than the old one, which helped us perform. Actually, Dolph on the drums, he had this wonderful drum sound in that room, and he performed the hell out of the drums. Usually he's very, very reserved in the studio, and this time he really let it loose. So that was one of my favorite moments. And then when I started singing, I think the first song that I did in the studio was the chorus of King of Kings, if I'm right. And I had the headphones on, I felt the room, and I had the sound of the room on my headphones, and I started singing, and immediately I was so much more powerful than ever before. And Charles would say, sorry, I have to change the setting. You are at least double as loud as usually on the first 3 albums. And it really was the atmosphere of the room, or the sound of the room, that helped the drums and the vocals perform on a much higher level. So that will be my favorite memories, because usually in studio you really work your ass off to capture what you want to have on the album. And this time I basically could do anything for hours, and that was it was such a relief as a vocalist.
The album is available on vinyl. Are you a vinyl collector?
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, I was raised on CDs, and I always thought that everybody who praised the vinyl was just too deep into nostalgia. And then one day I bought a vinyl album by Wishbone Ash from Great Britain. And I played it on my father's record player, because I didn't have one at that time, and it sounded magical. And then I met the band, and I said, can you give me a sort of digital advice where I can play that thing, and the drummer Joe Crabtree said, I will send you one. And it's exactly the same recording, and I played it on CD, and it sounded flat. And that was the moment where I really understood that vinyl does sound better than the other devices. And I started collecting vinyl, of course. There is this Swedish band, Morgana Le Fay. I don't know if you know them.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, very good. Their debut album is only available on vinyl and only 537 times. And it took me, I think, 25 years to actually find it. And around Christmas time, I bought it, and it cost me, I think, 337 euros or such. And it's wonderful to have it. It looks almost brand new, although it's 30 years old. It's fantastic. The sound of it is wonderful. So I'm a huge collector. I mean, music is my passion, and wow, I collect everything.
What would you say is your most prized vinyl collection? What would you say is your most prized music collectible?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Morgana Le Fay album is special because it's very rare, and it's very special to me musically. I have the huge Wishbone Ash box. I think it was limited to 5,000 or so.
Oh, wow.
With, I think it was 8 exclusive live albums, unreleased material from the 70s. So that's very, very special and extremely well done. So usually the rare things are okay for a fan, but this time it's been high class. So that's really fantastic. What else have I got? Oh, it's always hard to remember. But I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's been such a lot.
Some bands have their own wine, their own hot sauce. Can we expect any Hammer King food in the future?
Yes. We have already started, and it's not a joke. We have our own blend of coffee. It's a very, very high class coffee from honest fair trade conditions. It's a blend that you can only get in our store. It's high caffeine, and still it's very, very smooth. It's very, I would say it's a very round taste, actually. I like it a lot. So that is new. And it's not food, but we'll have an action figure of the Hammer King. It's in production yet, and it will be hand painted. So everything will be slightly individual. That's coming up.
Some people are saying that ever since music became digital and so easily accessible, that it's lost its monetary value. Would you agree with that?
I think in a way I am blessed that I've never experienced the old days. So I probably would agree, but ever since I started playing music, the downfall had already happened, actually.
Right.
So for me, it's always building up and getting better every time. I mean, it must have been interesting. I used to play with Ross the Boss from Manowar, and he told me the story about their first album, Battle Hymns. They had a demo cassette, I think, with 2 or maximum 3 tracks at the max. It wasn't more. And they got a contract from a huge label, from a major label. And right. I think they gave them $32,000, which was a lot of money in the early 80s.
Of course.
And they rent a house in Florida, and they had girls and all the stuff that goes with it.
Right.
And so basically they partied for 2 months. And in the meantime, they recorded the album, which is probably the reason why everything sounds so relaxed and you have all the spirit on the old albums, because the people were having the times of their lives, actually. And if you think of that, just recording 2 songs and then being given nowadays probably $100,000, that must have been amazing. And if you think of all the money that they really made from record sales, just sitting at home, scratching your back, and the money keeps coming in for nothing, basically. Money Correct. For nothing and chicks for free. So that must have been the days. But I mean, these days are over. The good thing is that nowadays you can tour a lot, which the bands basically did not do back in the day. Not that much, probably.
Right.
So playing live is the most important part, and for me as a musician, I must say, playing live is the most interesting part. I just talked about that in a different interview today. As a musician, you mostly all of the time you live in the future. You think about, is the next song going to be good enough? Will the next album be good enough? Will I be able to finish it on time? And the moment that you talk with people and the moment that you're on a stage is the only moments where you really live in the now. And probably this is why I like playing live that much, that you really can enjoy your music in the time that you do it. So I'm looking forward to playing shows. Hopefully they will happen soon.
Is there anything in the pipeline as far as live performances there? Where's Germany at in the pandemic?
Yeah, that is problematic, I think.
It's still an issue.
Yeah. I think that a situation such as a pandemic is probably the most complicated thing you can give to people like Germans, because the Germans, they want to do everything according to the norm and to the rule. Everything has to be secure and everything has to be 150% perfect, which means that we're very slow and we're not progressing very quickly. When I see that in the States, that the live dates are set up for the autumn. In Germany, we have, by the way, on Saturday would have been our release show, and we're not able to play the show, not even with 100 people, and distancing and masks. I mean, what's that supposed to be? Most of the people should be vaccinated. You can have tests before the people come to the show, and still it's too dangerous to go there. And that's something that I really, really, really get sick and tired of. If I see in other countries things are really progressing, and here practically no change since November or October last year. It's really frustrating.
I'm sorry that I brought it up. I don't mean to get you upset.
Absolutely fine. I mean, but on the positive side, when you see that the United States are building up again, Great Britain is building up again, and so on, the other countries are doing it. Sooner or later, it will be the same here. We just have to wait a bit longer. But I mean, of course, as a performing musician, you can't really wait until you're standing on the stage again.
We look forward to seeing you play here in California live.
Oh yes, I would love to.
Thank you so much for your time. It's very nice to meet you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with people that might be watching and listening to this?
I thank you for the time that you spend, for the support that it means to us, actually. And our album will be out by tomorrow. We're very proud of the album. We've invested a lot of energy into the album, and I think you can feel the energy on the album. So I always say we're looking forward to playing as many shows as possible, to get in touch with the people on the internet, but better so in person. So we're looking forward to playing live, and I always say, God bless the King, may the King bless you.